Assalamu alaikum. My name is Chayanne Mehdi, and today I'm here to the impact of a family support system on the lives of professional females working in Pakistan. I'm joined here today by Rabia Wasif. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Ma'am, could you introduce yourself, please? Wait for the camera.
Walaikum salam. My name is Ms. Rabia Wasif and I'm an assistant professor of English in FC College University.
So, ma'am, to start off, in your opinion, how does the level of familial support vary across the different socioeconomic backgrounds that you can find in Pakistan?
It does vary a lot for different socioeconomic backgrounds. For example, a lady or a woman, a working woman who actually belongs to a very strong familial background, right? So she would not need a lot of support from her family because she's already financially independent. But a woman who does not belong to a very strong financial background, she needs a lot of support, a lot of emotional support, a lot of financial support, a lot of familial support, because those people, those women do not actually have a lot of opportunities to work, a lot of opportunities at home to work outside. So they actually, it does vary. The support varies a lot.
And how do you perceive the role of familial support in the professional lives of working women in Pakistan?
It's very important in today's time because today's time requires not one bread earner in every family. Women need to participate in the race of earning, in the race of financial stand within the family. So if a woman also has to work side by side a man in order to support the entire family system, then the support matters a lot. Familial support should be there because women have always been trained to support men when they are working outside homes. But the idea, the concept, the perception of women working, that's not very common within our country, within our society. So automatically, if women are stepping into the professional world, they need familial support more than ever before.
Sorry. Have you observed any shifts in family dynamics and support systems for professional women in Pakistan during these recent years?
Yes, there is a huge shift. There was a time, obviously, I wasn't working then, but we used to hear, we used to observe, we used to listen to stories of experiences regarding people that women were not supported in order to work, in order to financially be independent, even if they have a husband who's earning good, right? There was a time when women were not encouraged, when women were not helped, when women were not mentally and physically supported within this affair. But nowadays, the awareness has actually allowed people to support women emotionally and physically as well. Physically, in the sense that they are actually helped within the home chores. The home chores are properly divided, or it is being understood if a woman cannot be a full-time housewife because she needs to work. So yes, there is a huge shift in how people have actually started behaving, perceiving and reacting to working women.
Could you share any personal anecdote or experience related to the impact of familial support and during the course of your career?
My career. Yes, I know this woman. I won't be taking the name, but she is an excellent researcher. She is an excellent translator. And she has actually published numerous books within her career. I won't say she is very old, so her career span is also limited up till now. She's in her mid 40s or something. But I have seen that she's very successful because of the only reason that her husband supports her to the fullest. So she was a huge inspiration for me in order to set up my own family system, in the sense that support from your own family, support from your own partner within marriage, or your parents if you're not married. That support matters a lot, because if your mind is continuously free from the horrendous works of your personal domestic life, right? If your mind is free from that, automatically you can focus much, much, much better in your research, in your career, in your progress as well. Even in, adding more to your knowledge, reading, all of these things do matter. So that was one personal experience that inspired me a lot. Plus, my own experience to a certain extent does add up to the fact that my own husband supports me to the fullest in order to work. So even if I am unable to finish any home chore, it's totally fine. So that does help a lot.
What role would you say that education plays in like the amount of support that's like provided by like your family?
Education plays a huge role in the sense that if a person is educated, if our families are educated, only then can they understand the amount and the importance of work anyone, whether women, whether men, are doing outside their homes in order to earn. Because financial independence comes with a lot of effort, a lot of effort. Once you start earning, you actually do appreciate your own parents, right? So automatically, if the people around you, within family, within the society, if they are educated, they are also aware of the fact as to how important it is to support familially, societally, how important it is to support anyone who's working, especially women, because they are given lesser opportunities in that sense.
What like advice would you give to women who are not receiving that same level of like familiar support, which let's say you or the person you got inspired from or got?
We cannot change our elders, to be very honest. We can talk to them, but we cannot change anyone. So my advice would always be, and is still, is to actually change the thinking perspective, the mindset of the next generation at least. If you have younger siblings, if you have your own sons and daughters, at least try to instill the different concept and the awareness within them at least, so that the next generation can have a better future.
Okay. How would you say that family influenced your career choices or the opportunities that were presented to you?
My mother, although she's a housewife, but she did encourage me not to waste my free time. Obviously, we have other, walks of life to attend to. But my mother was always there to support me, to give me an idea, to make me realize that my free time should be utilized as well. And she was the one who basically pushed me positively. She pushed me to enter into the working environment, to become a working woman. And she was the one to tell me that even if after marriage I am unable to work, I should actually make a path for myself. Because being in a job is not the only thing that matters. Working, utilizing your education is something that matters. So she was the one who actually helped me a lot.
Okay. How do you like envision the future of the future of familial support that is like provided to women in the future, and like what changes would you like to see?
I think women should be not stigmatized with stereotypes. Even till today, women are stigmatized. The other day, it was a random comment, not made on me, but it was just a random comment that I heard, that if she's working so hard, she won't be cooking something at home. And I found that very demeaning, that cooking does not matter. If you do not cook for a day, it does not matter. Overall, if you're balancing things, because the balance matters. If you're working and you're good at that, and you're also balancing your household overall, right? Those things do matter a lot. So people need to create a comfortable space in order for everyone to work. I've also seen men being stigmatized with a lot of stereotypical talks, a lot of stereotypical comments, and women are being done so in the similar manner. Obviously, the comments are different, but both are stigmatized to a certain extent. And our society actually needs to understand that they need to create a comfortable space for everyone to work. Because if you're unable to, clean this table one day, it's totally fine. These things don't matter, and in the future people need to understand this thing. And I'm not talking about those people who don't work, I'm talking about those people who actually work and they still stigmatize other people who work. So that needs to change. And then the working environment of every organization and every place, every office, can be comfortable and healthy for people to work, and it can be encouraging for other people who are skilled, who are knowledgeable, to actually come into the workforce.
On a personal level, like the household system, you could say, which was made, in which the man works, and then the woman stays at home, and she man- manages the household. Like this system was made, like established, I guess you could say, in like the 1960s, the 1970s, which it used to work back then, but now with the way that our economy is, and the inflation that we are currently seeing, the system of just one person working and one person being at home just doesn't seem to cut it in anymore. Like the prices of like basic utilities are so high that both people and most people in like the household, they do have to work. And your point of like these like judgments, the stigmas that are around, they really do need to like fade away. Like it's time
Fade away,
that
because
it's
these
time
are
that the
very
world.
demeaning acts. These might appear minor acts, but these are demeaning acts. One actually loses the courage to continue.
Right, these small things, they pile up. Like one person makes a small joke, and then someone else, and it all just piles up into one big like block, you could say, and that
Yes.
block has a huge effect on people. I completely understand that. How does your professional life impact like your familial life? Like, I'm sure then.
It does impact in the sense that sometimes, obviously, we are overexhausted, overworked. There are days when we are not so overworked, but then there are days when we are totally overworked. But and that is the point. The days which we are overworked, those are the days that actually require familial support. So yes, work does have an effect, but not to an extreme sense. Because I think, according to me only, I won't be talking about everyone specifically, everyone needs to balance out their life. If you are giving a 200% to your work, so automatically your personal domestic life will be affected. And if you're giving a 200% to your domestic life, then automatically your work life will be affected. So there needs to be a healthy balance in which you are able to, accomplish everything on both the sides. So, but some days obviously do become off balance, but that's okay.
That's just life. How are you able to like mentalize your work life and your personal life? How do you like achieve that, like that balance, you could say?
I try to divide my time. If, for example, I try to be an early bird every day. Obviously there are exceptional days, but I try to be the early bird in order to accomplish all my tasks. And then I try to compartmentalize my time specifically. If, for example, my job requires 7 to 8 hours a day, then I try to give at least 10 hours to my domestic life as well, because I can relax during my domestic life. So my relaxation time, in which I'm not sleeping, but I'm just relaxing, giving a peace moment to my mind. That also does come for me within my domestic life. So automatically I try to give 2 extra hours to my domestic life in order for my own mental satisfaction that yes, I'm at peace. So
What advice would you be able to give to like other women who are like facing the same issue, but they aren't able to find that balance just yet?
First of all, be happy. A lot of people are only, but I'm talking about every gender over here. A lot of people are only working for the sake of supporting their families financially, or they are working for the sake of being attached to organizations only, but they're not happy. They are trying to just sell off to the society as an image. First of all, try to be happy with wherever you are, because wherever you are, that did require a lot of struggle, a lot of effort, and a lot of your own personal time, right? And secondly, also be happy with what you have domestically, because every person's situation is different, every person's background is different, and every person's lifestyle is very different. A lot of people who are unhappy, what I've observed, obviously it's not a fixed statement.
Yes, sir.
It is what I've observed. A lot of people try to compete unnaturally, unknowingly, unconsciously with everything around. And that allows you to step off balance automatically. So if you are trying to compete, you can never balance out anything. Just try as to, what I do is I try to balance out all the important things. Simple as that. Accomplish all the important things. I do lack in a lot of things according to whatever I see around me, but I try not to allow those things to get to my mind, because if I allow each and everything to get to my mind, automatically I am I am at a 0 point.
That's very fair. That's very understandable. I had a question I was going to ask, but now it's slipped out of my mind for some reason. I'm just gonna move on. Like, there must have been instances where, as you said, okay, like, you weren't able to find that balance. Like, in some instances, like, your work life was just too hectic to be able to actually devote your time to your family. In such situations, how did that, like, lack of, like, time that you were devoting to your family, how did that, like, cause any negative things to happen? And if so, how did they, like, impact your work life as well?
One example is my mom was severely sick 2 years back, and because of work, because those were the days that I was overly exhausted and overworked, I could not attend to her. Although it is, we kind of feel a guilt and not attending to our parents on time. So that was one moment when I thought that when I did, it was the truth that I could not, it was a negative side of my work or negative effect of my work, that I could not attend to my own parent in time of need, although they have been attending to us throughout our life. But yet again, the balance came in when my other siblings stepped in. So, at the end, we have to see the positive side. Otherwise, we'll go crazy, honestly.
That's true. That's very true. What role can, like, organizations and workplaces play in order to help women be able to, like, find that balance?
Organizations matter a lot. Too much. And I don't know if I'm allowed to use any organization's name, but FC has the best working environment in the sense that FC does not fixate us for hours. We need to fulfill our required time over here, but apart from that, we are never forced to work overtime or anything. And we have this, very flexible working hours over here within FC, due to which I feel lucky that I'm never actually in the negative. I do not fall into the negative effect of working or overtimely working, because I can always balance out the fact that, okay, if today I'm unable to give half an hour less and I have to leave early because of any reason, I can give half an hour extra tomorrow. A lot of organizations do not do that. They are very rigid with their work timings. I think men and women, every person needs to be given a certain amount of a 10% flexibility for emergency cases, for sick days or whatsoever. There can be days when a person does not have any emergency or any sick reason, but they are mentally not 100% available to do something. So organizations need to create that flexibility. Even if it's a 10%, they need to provide that flexibility to their workers in order for every person to come to their full potential while working. Appreciation, that does matter.
That's
Because
very
if
true.
people are working, obviously every person is putting in the time and effort and their full potential automatically. If they're not being appreciated, that does become a huge discouragement for future.
And that because that comes to discouragement, they don't feel, because they don't feel appreciated, they don't feel the need or the want to be able to like put in their put in like the put in their 100% to their work.
Next time they won't be doing that. It will be 80 and then 70% and
And
coming
then
back to a
आराम से
negative.
बिल्कुल. I believe that marks all of the questions that I have for you today. Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me.